So, hey, how are you today? Maybe I should develop a little catchy slogan the way a lot of other people do. I don't know. I don't know. But good afternoon. Today is Sunday, January 26th. And again, this is my accountability for myself. And I'm feeling better today than I did yesterday. Yesterday, I will tell you, as you go with me on this journey, you'll notice that I can get very introspective. And one of the things I'm having to learn to do is, I said this to my brother, is to not focus so much on the past and be in the present and look to the future. I used to have on one of my email, as an email signature, don't look at your situation, look at your destination. And and that's something that I have to constantly remind myself of, is don't look at your situation, look at your destination. And even if I'm honest and I unpack my situation now, it's not as dire as the story that my mind would tell me. So, as I've been sharing with you, I was, for a long time, I was a stay-at-home mom. I worked, but I worked enough that it would take care of bills, because my main focus was really on my son. And so, around 2000, I want to say around 2021, so I want to say probably about 2016 ish, I really committed myself to, like, okay, I'm going back to school, and if I'm going back to school, I am doing it right. So I first started at North Carolina Central University, which is a historical Black college and university. Shout out to Eagle Pride, in in Durham, North Carolina. And I got accepted to there, among some other schools, when I was 17 years old. I also got accepted to Howard University. I got accepted to school I really wanted to go to. I didn't get accepted to, which was Spelman. I did get accepted to Bennett. And where else did I apply? I think that was it, because I had my heart, like my heart of heart set on going to Spelman, but I didn't get in. So I got accepted to North Carolina Central, and I got accepted to Bennett and Howard. Bennett is in Greensboro. It's an all girls HBCU, and it's in Greensboro. And because I already had family, my grandmother went to North Carolina Central. My father went to North Carolina Central. I have a host of cousins that also went to North Carolina Central. My grandfather was like, "That's where you're going." And I was like, "But since I didn't get accepted to Spelman, I was like, okay, I want to go to Howard." And my granddaddy was like, "No." He shut that down with a quickness. It was like, you are not going out of state. You would not be able to tolerate it. You would not be able to deal with it. So, no. And when I tell you that my poor little 17-year-old heart, well, I was 16 when I got accepted, 17 when I finally went away. And I was just a boohoo in tears. And let me tell you, your parents know best. And so I went away to college, and that first semester, I had such a hard time, so much so that when it came to winter break to come home, I did not want to go back. I had a horrible roommate. We did not get along. And I just was like, yeah, I don't want to go back. My granny was like, "You going back?" So, and so that was 90. So that's summer, my grandmother, my father's mother, she passed away. And so I continued to go. My granny was like, "That's not an excuse. You going back to school, so that's not an excuse." Well, in the meantime, between 91 and between 91 and 94, we had a house fire, our first house fire. No, our second house fire. We had a house fire, and so I took a leave of absence from school, or however you do it, and went home for a couple weeks so I could be with my granddaddy when, as far as the house and everything like that is concerned. Then I did go back to school. And at the time that I took, I don't know if it was a couple weeks. I know it had no, it had to be more than a couple weeks. It was like 2-3 years that I came home, and because I end up enrolling at Cape Fear Community College that is here. So that's exactly what happened. Gosh, I tell you, the older you get, your memory. So I end up enrolling to Cape Fear during my junior year. I came home my junior year, and I end up enrolling at Cape Fear Community College, and I stayed home. And then I just kept begging my granddaddy. I was like, "Can I go back? Can I go back?" And so he finally said that I could go back. I often feel like that was like such a worse decision, because as soon as I went back in August of '94, and in November of '94 my grandfather passed. And of course that just took the sheer life out of me. Me and my grandfather were extremely close. My birthday is February 7th. My granddaddy's birthday is February 14th. He used to tell me all the time that I was his early birthday gift. My mother's birthday is also in February. Look, if I don't go down that rabbit hole, my sister-in-law's birthday, well, my sister-in-law, I don't call her my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law, her birthday is February 5th. My mother's birthday is February 5th. My godson's birthday is February 5th. My mentor, his birthday is February 1st. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of Aquarius. Oh, my sister-in-law's sister, her birthday is February 9th, and her father's birthday is February 14th. Yeah, so we some February babies. Between February and November, we stack high in those years. So nevertheless, that really did a number on me, because me and my granddaddy were very close. I had 2 debutantes. He escorted me in both my debutantes. Anything that pertained to me, he was all about it. He took me everywhere. He helped me buy my clothes. He put me in etiquette classes. He spent time, he just really poured into me. He was a man of few words, very silent type. When I'm not even say did not do a lot of arguing. He did not do any arguing. What he said was law, and that was it. Seriously. It was not, he was very, like I said, very quiet man. He was a gardener. He was an outside person. He owned his own business. He had his own catering and bartending business. And a little backstory, my grandfather quickly. My grandfather was a Pullman porter on the Atlantic Coast Railroad. The Atlantic Coast Railroad was a railroad that actually run up the Eastern Board, and it transported commercial products, but it also transported passengers, so up and down the eastern seaboard. And by chance or by God's will, my grandfather ended up becoming the personal assistant to the president of the railroad, who was originally from Wilmington, this area. So when Mr. Davis retired, my grandfather also retired. And so he continued to be his personal assistant when he retired. And in that retirement, he left my grandfather a lot of land, and so he ended up opening his own catering, bartending business, just basically taking those same skills that he learned when he was a Pullman porter. And a Pullman porter, in so many words, is you could say like a waitress or a bartender, or someone's on the actual on the railroad. So they're meeting your needs, checking on you, finding out what you need. Are you comfortable? Bring you, your drinks, all those things, that the same thing that you would get as a waiter or waitress at a restaurant, just making sure that you are okay. They're I would say between a waitress and a concierge, because you could also ask them, where can you get this? How can you find this? And they would find those things, acquire those things, and bring those things back. Perfume, clothes, whatever. They were a combination between a waitress and a concierge. That's my way of explaining it. Let me go to part 2, and I'll be right back.